Hi guys, we're nearly there. This is almost it. Just got that to plug into the socket and this one to ground. This is the that way up. This is my first build, and this is the Gary Moore replica Stratocaster. It is a parts caster, bits and bobs, some of it genuine Fender, some of it from elsewhere, but the inspiration completely from Gary Moore. The wiring is different, and you'll notice I've put an on-off or a two-way switch there, which is the sort of thing you'll see on a Jaguar or Mustang, possibly Jazzmaster type guitar, because you only have a three-way switch on the 61, which is what the Gary Moore original was. So three-way switch. I've wired it so that it's almost like a Telecaster, so these two operate on this switch. So middle position would be a bit like a telly. Some people call it Memphis wiring, but I haven't changed the pots to 500k. 500k is what a telly would use, which gives it that more snap and brightness, whereas these are standard 250k pots for what you'd expect in a standard Strat. So you should be a slightly deeper tone. This this volume is purely for the middle pickup. The middle pickup completely independent of the other two. So you can blend it in and out with the middle volume switch. And you can also reverse phase the wiring. Obviously you can't reverse phase the magnets, but you can reverse phase the wiring to give you the blend of position 4 of a Strat and position 2 of a Strat, or you can run all three pickups together. That's my own mod. I much prefer the three-way switch on a Strat. Why more people don't do the blend function regardless of what I've done with the phase switch, I don't understand that. Having been someone that plays Les Pauls or that style of guitar, a three-way switch makes more sense than trying to fiddle for position 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is. I mean, a 7-way switch is completely out of it in my book. It's madness. Standard tone control. Tone control, I believe, only works those two. This one is purely off the volume, straight to the jack, so will stay full bore at all times. The frets, and well, have a look at the back of the neck. It's this is one of the things that's difficult to judge building a Gary Moore replica. Is the Fender Custom Shop have released some photographs, but there's more photographs of the replica than there are the original guitar. So you have to, I mean, this bit here with this scratch out of there, and this patterning, and also the patterning here with the unusual blooming of colour on the armrest. I've managed to get that, I think. But the neck, not much detail on how the neck is aged, but it is very aged. I've pretty much taken the cue from some of the sort of Gary Moore tunes that I've played over the years, and he plays a lot of it here, so we've put some wear in on the back there. Obviously played a lot up the top, so there's a thumb wear, bit of thumb wear there. Got a Fender plate, it's Fender Corona California. That's probably not age correct for a 61, but you know, it's on there. This isn't a Fender guitar, this is something that I've built completely from bits and pieces. So in some respects I think it's better than what I could have bought, because these two pickups are out of a CBS 1970s Fender. These are greyback fibre original Fender pickups that I've had in my toolbox for over 25, maybe 30 years. Never put them in a guitar. This one is a vintage reissue, a 50s vintage reissue. I think it's a 57 Fender vintage reissue. They all put out about 6.4K. This one's tiny bit more powerful than that one, and that one's been wound pretty much the same. Generally low output pickups is what Gary would have had, so they lend themselves well to this build. The frets and the edges have been leveled, polished, and I've done my first fret job as well on the edges. The not too bad really. The wear on the headstock, there's bits and pieces and knocks and blemishes, and you know, I think that's all the sort of stuff you'd expect to see in a guitar that's supposed to be 50 years old and been played to death. Not by my hands, not yet anyway, but it's a replica of a guitar that's been played to death, and a very famous one at that. Scratch plate was I got a mint green one because everyone says, oh, we've got to have mint green. Mint green does look good, but some aftermarket mint greens, like the one I originally bought, really do look green, and they haven't got a richness of tone. This is actually a standard cream scratch plate. I don't know where I got it from actually. It might be off a copy Strat, or I don't even know if I bought this one. But it looks well with the pickup covers. The pickup covers were original off that 1970s Strat that the pickups came with. So these have got all the scratches and dents of years of playing. This is a new pickup cover. I've had to age that one because the one that came with the pickup was black, so I've got that one in. I probably had to buy 3 or 4 sets of pickup covers before I got one that matched reasonably well to these ones. I've aged that as well. When I say aged, generally it involves sandpaper, screwdrivers, and I think there is some skill. The skill is in making it look like it's been, the scratches have been played in, not making it just look beaten up. I mean, there's certainly a skill in replicating a guitar like with this sort of damage and stuff from just internet pictures and the internet pictures and magazine photographs from Guitarist magazine and other publications is all I've had to go by, but I don't think it's bad. The bridge, I didn't realise, but the 61s have the rolled steel bridge saddles, and this one I had to buy as a complete Fender unit because the saddles I had before were solid, and I realised that wasn't period specific, so I changed it. But it's all right. It does the job. The machine heads, they are original Fender type, so you can see that there. Well, they are original Fenders. They're new stock. I haven't aged those yet. I probably will do. You know, some sort of all sorts of potions of acids and vinegars and things like that you can use for aging. I did that with the bridge. I quite like the way that the saddles, especially the springs and the grub screws, have all really taken on some rust, and not dirt as such, but they do look like they've been played. The pots that I put in here, just final thing, the pots I put in are by a company called Bourne's, American company. I initially tried alphas. The alphas were okay, but I struggled to get solder to stick to them. That was my fault from a soldering point of view. This one was, I had 2 alphas and a CTS, and I didn't really have much more success getting the solder to stick to the CTS, which told me pretty much it was my fault in technique of soldering. But before I realised that, and that dawned on me, I bought 3 Bourne's sets. I'd done some research online, watched some sound videos on YouTube, and the Bourne's pots, to me, I just felt in a direct comparison with CTS and Bourne's, I would say, are very close. I chose to go with Bourne's. They're very, very smooth. They're quite easy to roll, actually. So when I do put the covers on, I've got standard cream covers to go on, but this is volume, where this would say tone and that would say tone. That one's got a volume of its own, but they're a matching set. So it would be volume, volume, tone. And obviously with my little upgrades on electrics, this is a Gary Moore replica Strat, which I've built. First guitar I've ever attempted. Nitrocellulose finish that's been obviously crafted to the replica. One more thing about the finish, it was, as Gary Moore's guitar is believed to have been, a sunburst body. This was a sunburst body. The sunburst bodies were given a treatment by Fender in the 60s, which included a yellow undercoat and then a white spray undercoat. That is apparent in the way I've taken the wear back. You can see the yellow and the white, and then the red nitrocellulose coat that goes over the top, and creating this blooming and this strange dark red patch that's unique to Gary's guitar is also there. So you might be able to pick up some of those colours, as I've said. So yeah, that's it. This is my guitar, my tribute to Gary Moore. I've always wanted a Strat. I've never owned one, so I thought I'd build one. And this is it. Got my own take on wiring, but I'm going to enjoy playing it. I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, tell me what you think. Cheers.